Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking all about the key quest rewards. If you like the video, please consider subscribing. Also, I have a Discord and my Twitch linked down below. For those of you who don't know, if you go to Ginger Island and you get 100 walnuts, you can get through this door right here. So once you've got your 100th walnut, you can walk in, you get this cutscene from Mr. Key, and now you can access a few things. You can access these quests. Doing these quests will reward you with gems, and these gems can be spent on prizes. Today we're going to be talking all about these prizes. Next time we're going to be talking about the quests. So I'm just going to go through and we're going to look at all these prizes and I'm going to give my opinions on them. First up, we have the Junimo chest. This one's pretty interesting though, because what it does is if you put down a chest in one spot and you put down a chest somewhere else, you should be able to put stuff in one of the chests and access it from another chest. So that can be super helpful if you, for instance, want to go to Ginger Island and back, or you can put one chest in the mines and one by your house. Stuff like that. Next we have the horse flute. Now the horse flute is one of the better items here, because at any point, assuming you're not indoors, you can call a horse to you, assuming you have a stable. I don't on this file, but that will allow you to ride your horse, for instance, on Ginger Island, and it can just generally help you get to places faster. Pierre's missing stock list. So this one is very interesting. If we go to Pierre's, and we hand him his missing stock list, he tells you that he can expand his stock to include seeds from all season year-round. Now, I know that you can't plant all seeds on the farm year-round, but you can in the greenhouse, and you can on Ginger Island. So you now have any seed you want and land to plant it on. So you can just pick out what you need and go and grow it. Next, we have the hopper. Now, this is one of the few items that allows you to do some sort of automation on your farm. For instance, I just put copper and coal in here, and it got loaded into this machine. The unfortunate part about this is that you will need to take out the copper bar, so it's not pure automation, but it means that you won't have to keep carrying these materials on you. You can just run by and pick up all the stuff that you get. Next, we have the Enricher. Now, when you buy this for 20 key gems, you get 4 of these, and this is one I haven't actually used before. But how it should work is you can just put fertilizer on them on top of any sprinkler. As you can see right now, there's 999, but if I go ahead and plant a crop, you might be able to see it already, but the fertilizer will already have been moved to that crop. So that's pretty helpful. Next up, we have the pressure nozzle. Now this one is pretty easy to explain and can be super useful. Ignore the bad placement. This is not meant for efficiency, just for this demo. So what I did was I just put these 2 sprinklers down, made a dirt track 3 wide on each one in a couple directions, and then slept overnight. As you can see, the regular one goes 2 tiles out. With the pressure nozzle, it goes 3 tiles out. That means that you get a giant amount of space added on to your already pretty good sprinkler. Next, we have the deconstructor. This one I don't find generally too useful, but it can still be pretty helpful if you have a lot of leftover machines. So what this does is you can take a crafted item, you put it in there, and then when it's done, it will give you the most valuable parts of that machine. So for instance, the furnace is made of 20 copper and 25 stone. So if you were to deconstruct a furnace, it would give us the copper, because that's obviously worth a lot more. Next up, we have the key to the town. This is not a held item, this is instead a wallet item, and it's one of the most important wallet items of all of them. If you want to see my wallet item video, look right here. Say it's just some rainy morning, 7:10 a.m. Normally Pierre's wouldn't be open, but because we have key to the town, we can walk right in. And Pierre is super unique because he wakes up standing in this position. So you can just kind of show up, buy what you need, and leave before the store even officially opens. Next up, we have the Galaxy Soul. Now, these Galaxy Souls are pretty interesting because what you'll do is you'll take them to the forge, and you will forge these with a super strong weapon, for instance, the Galaxy Hammer or Sword. These can make them much more powerful. For instance, a Galaxy Sword can do 60 to 80 damage, where an Infinity Blade does 80 to 100, and it also adds some defense. A Galaxy Hammer goes from 70 to 90 damage, and instead goes to 100 to 120 damage, so that's pretty amazing. Mushroom tree seeds are the least impressive thing here, in my opinion. Essentially what you can do is you can go and plant this tree, and it'll grow into a giant mushroom, from which you can get like 6 or 7 mushrooms out of. Next up, we have Magic Bait. Magic Bait is super unique because if you go to any body of water and you equip the bait, you will be able to fish up fish from any season and any time and any weather, as long as it originates in this body of water. Next up is Key Seasoning. This one is also a little bit less important, but essentially when you're cooking, it will make your cooking better. It will make your food like worth more, and the buffs will last longer. Next up, we have Mr. Key's hat, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. We have the Aquatic Sanctuary, which is the biggest fish tank there is in the game. Next, we get into the recipes. The first up is the Heavy Tapper recipe. This one will essentially harvest oak resin, maple syrup, or pine tar from a tree twice as fast as regular tapper. Hyper Speed Grow guarantees to increase growth rate by at least 33%, so that's pretty good. Deluxe Fertilizer increases the quality of your crops. The Hopper recipe obviously just allows you to build hoppers. Same with the Magic Bait recipe, you can now just make Magic Bait, and the Exotic Double Bed, which is just a bed. Anyway, that's all for this time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to see the type of quests that you guys will have to do to get these items, and I hope you have a fantastic day.